got it, Bill.
I gotta wait for the YouTube button, right, Susan?
It is streaming now.
Got it, Bill.
Hi, everyone. Hey, welcome back. Here we are, day 3. Oh my God. We are already at the last day of this conference event. We work on it for, 4 months. We start about 4 months early, talking about the title, the theme for the conference, what are we being what's being given to us to share, and what does that look and feel like? And I work with Marie and Lindsay and talk with Lisa, and then all of a sudden, I wake up one morning and I have it. It's like, oh, okay, it's the journey of awakening, and we play with different ways to say it, and then Marie does her research and she adds the mind body. I originally had spirit, and Marie uh, came back with, well, it should really be mind, body, heart. And so that's how this all begins. And then as we put the kind of the context of the title and the theme, we then discuss who are the speakers, who are the authors, the presenters, the teachers that will represent this title and this theme. And we put a list together of 25, 30 teachers, and we play with that list for a while until we hone it down to the number of teachers that we would have in the event. And then I began putting the schedule together and scheduling the space between the speakers and the feeling and the flow that's being given to this title and this theme, and now these speakers that are being felt. And then suggestions come in, like Susan Telford. She invited me to take a look at Angelo, as she's been doing for a year, and I went and looked at Angelo and others, and then we bring our regulars in and say, okay, do the regulars fit with this title and this theme and this subject matter? And that's how all this sort of culminates into the conference that you all are now experiencing, and we are with you. We're all in the background. We have a connection on Slack, and we're all kind of supporting each other in Slack. And of course, we use it as a hotline. If there's something that's sort of going sideways, there's support. And each of these sessions are supported by the staff, the volunteer staff, which we this year we suddenly have all of these very gifted and skilled and awake supporting volunteers that are part of the Center for Awakening. And now Evolve is really filled with some beautiful teachers that are giving of their time to support the work of the Center for Awakening. And this may be the last year we do 2 conferences a year. We may go next year and do one in the fall again, and just really and then have our mini retreats throughout the year, so that we sprinkle our time together with different focused weekend retreats, maybe 3 next year before the conference, and of course our special events. And then if you're in Evolve, you've got a full plate. You've got a platter of not only content, but community, teachers. Many of the teachers that are here, Angelo is our January teacher, as we mentioned. Steve Taylor comes after Lisa Natoli. Jan Frazier is one of our teachers now. Jan Frazier is one of those anomalies that that Angelo was speaking about last night, where one who has that spontaneous Eckhart Tolle kind of a Byron Katie awakening. Jan Frazier is that. She's the Joel Goldsmith of our time. I'm telling you, I've met her in person. I've followed her in person a dozen years ago, and then she quit traveling. Now she just stays up in her place up in Vermont, and she teaches online, and she still writes books. She just recently published a new book that we covered a little bit when we interviewed her for Awakening Mind Films, and it's wonderful. And so Jan Frazier's another new teacher for the Evolve community. And maybe you've read that book, another person that had that spontaneous, like full on out of the blue awakening, Suzanne Segal. The Collision with the Infinite was the name of her book. And that woman she spent 10 years and finally was healed, finally came down to earth and got her grounding when she met Jean Klein in Paris. She became a therapist, a psychologist. She got a master's degree in that, but it took 10 years for her to understand what happened in a moment in her experience. So just a quick kind of a survey question. How many here are members of Evolve right now? Nice. And if you could say one sentence or even one word and put it in the chat, just take the time to just give a sense for people what that experience is like for you to be part of that community. And what are your thoughts about how it's growing in the next couple of weeks with all of these additional new teachers like Jenny Beal, Amy Habel, Jenny Sheehan is one of our supporting members of Evolve, and that community has grown from the Pure Presence community that we've now, since we've really brought everything under the umbrella of the Center for Awakening. We've really brought the two communities into one place, and we began having these volunteers coming into Pure Presence community, and we thought, well, we need to bring this into one house, one community, and I kind of call it for myself the new Evolve, because Evolve has changed, beginning with all of this new activity. For people that don't have time for the Evolve regular teachings that happen with, if you don't have if you can't give the time into Evolve, well, there's other activities that maybe you have Monday mornings free or Monday afternoons. Maybe you have Tuesdays free. Maybe you have Wednesdays. So it sort of organically filled itself in with the inspiration that might fit your schedule, hopefully. And it's so good to see all of you. I'm looking on gallery, and I know I'm not supposed to because I'm live streaming to YouTube, and whatever I see is what goes over there, and we're supposed to, and they're my rules, so I can break them. And no one will scold me, I don't think. Maybe, I mean, I have plenty of type A personality people that I'm surrounded by. All of these gifted individuals, they have their own mind, I promise you. and they do tell me what they think. But just to say, I love seeing your faces. I love spending time with you. Many of you are familiar faces to me that are part of the master class that I started several years ago, and it became a master class where we meet every other Sunday all through this year, going through A Course in Miracles, the workbook lessons that I retranslated into the non-dual understanding as it was coming in every morning for a year and a half. I began opening the course. I'd do a Facebook Live, and I would just reinterpret it as I read it in the workbook lesson. And I started seeing, oh my God, this is interpreting itself. It's retranslating itself as I read it. And that became that sort of unfolded over 18 months. And then Cindy Krupp suggested that we turn that into a master class, and we did. It's been my joy to lead. We spend 75 minutes every other Sunday, and we really focus on the content of either the direct experience that I'm having and I share it, or I offer a meditation. Lately, and since the instructions started, the Course in Miracles, after workbook lesson 220, the Course in Miracles has a set of 14 instructions that are amazing. They're brilliant. And deciphered in a non-dual understanding, they become a felt, visceral experience of what the poetry that A Course in Miracles offers is. Once you get past the Christian language, once you include the duality, and you re-reference it to the non-dual teaching, it becomes a different experience. I shared a couple, maybe 10 days ago, what is the second coming, or the real world, and from that experience, a couple of people went, "Oh my God, what you just did with this text just opened me right up." You remember, some of you were there. The woman she was just opened up from that expression. And so it just really gives me a lot of appreciation to be able to share these ideas with you. And these conference teachers like Angelo, like Louise, she's going to be joining us at 9:30 this morning. You don't want to miss her meditation. She is a portal to the infinite. She is in her meditation, and many are, as is Steve Taylor, as is Angelo. He gave an interesting kind of a meditation last night. He put us all to sleep, or at least put us all in the experience of pure presence, and then almost immediately went, okay, questions. It was like, oh, wait. But it was brilliant. His clarity, Angelo's clarity, was brilliant, and I'm super happy to have the quality of teachers, supporters, volunteers, staff, ideas, all of these things available that are being transmitted through Pure Presence conferences, through the Center for Awakening. Why? Because we all of us, myself, the teachers, the staff, the volunteers, all of us, we really want you to have what some of you know, and probably most of you know. We want you to have for yourself this this on-demand direct experience of self-awareness, of pure presence. And just as all the teachers said, that this is available for you right now. This is available for everyone. If you watch the Awakening Mind films, that's one of the yesterday or any day, all of those teachers in that film are pointing to the same clarity, the same finger pointing at the moon, saying this is available for all of us. In fact, this is why we're here. This is our service to the world. This is our service to ourself. We came here. You were conceived in that bodysuit with your name for the purpose of awakening. I know that may sound like, well, it's a pretty high mark to state. Well, it's true though. How many, and if you look at the history of the world, you were a dinosaur once. We were here before the extinction of the dinosaurs. Not in these bodysuits, but we were the dinosaurs. We are the landscape and the experience of God having an experience. This is what Tom Dass said yesterday when he said, "You are God." Now, and many of you get it. Some of you even texted in the chat. It is arrogance to say that you're not God. It's blasphemy to say that you're not God. You're not the God in the sky that answers prayers. No, you're not. No. But you, beloved, are the formless presence. You are I am. And you know this. Somewhere in your own experience, you know that you have always been you. And you will always be you. And these teachers, they give us remembering. They give us ideas of remembering. And also they help us. Like if you were in Angelo's session last night, he's gifted with mastery of seeing the value of the upset. He sees through the noise of the illusion of the emotional trigger. He sees the value of the trigger. And when someone points that out to us, we go, oh my God, a trigger. Yes. So what do you do with that? Well, you notice the mind, it's giving it a narrative. The mind is immediately putting a story on it, some kind of behavior, some kind of trauma, some kind of something that is the cause, so to speak. Angelo, he cuts right through that. Just be aware of the sensation. Where does it reveal itself in the body? Right? He masterfully cuts right through that to where its source is. And I'm just going to give a little commercial. This book right here, this should be on everyone's desk, right? Susan is doing a book study using this book in Evolve, and you might want to take advantage of that, and because it's potent. He will give you there's nothing better than having the time to go through the ideas with a group and then speak about it digest it, and then let consciousness, let awareness just assimilate it into your own direct experience. That's the value of a book study. That's, I've been doing my book studies for 5+ years, and we've done all of Rupert's books. I think we're missing a couple of Francis's. I didn't realize he had some more books, but we've recently gone through almost a university course, a deep dive with Atmananda Krishna Menon. And we're going to finish that book. We've been on it since March of this year. We're going to finish it in January, right before I take a trip to India with a few of you. There are 3 spots left to India, and I see someone here, Celine, and she was in India with us last year. Oh my God, was Tiruvannamalai and Rishikesh like mind-blowing? Yes, Celine Ledger was one of 18 of us that went to India last year. It changed it changed me. And when I went to Tiruvannamalai and the experience of Yogiville, that's right there, 10 kilometers from Aranachala, I was changed. Many of you that were in the master classes with us, you saw it was almost like a Moses glow that was happening. And at first, I remember, Celine, when we first got there, we got there in a bus. There's about 10 of us in this bus coming from Bangalore. And I'm thinking, where are we? We're in the middle of a pasture, right? There's bulls and cows and goats and no roads that are paved, and just these little huts and people with fires out in front of their house. And first thing I did was go on my iPhone, and I'm looking for the closest Uber. Well, there's no Ubers. Yeah, there's a lot of rickshaws, these little 3-wheel scooters that they take you, you travel around in. But oh my God, within 24 hours, I was experiencing the experience of Aranachala right there in Yogiville. Everything became like we were in total paradise. The whole experience of India just captured my experience, and I began feeling what I think Ramana Maharshi felt, what he expressed, and the power of Aranachala was it was visceral. And so anyway, that India experience was awesome. And if anyone has an interest in going to India, you can. I think we have another email going out for to invite people. That we have 3 spots open for that. And as we come to a close in this opening session of our day 3 of the conference, if you haven't come to the meetup cafes and you have something to share, or maybe if you have come and you would like to share, if you could say in one word or in a sentence, what has this conference done for you since if you've been here all through 3 days? What's your experience, your highest takeaway experience? And why did you come to the conference? What would you say your reason for coming to the conference was? Was it for glimpses? Was it for community? Was it for a reset? I noticed in some of the sessions, the teacher, in the Q&A, it's like the teacher can say one thing and help just unstuck you. If you're stuck, there's just maybe an unsticking mechanism. Each of these sessions, in my mind, are designed by consciousness, by you, by the you that we share, the awareness that's aware of this experience right here. Before a word is used, before a thought is primordial, pure presence, awareness. That's you. That's God. That's God's infinite being. And this awareness has with it the intelligence that designs universes and galaxies and bodysuits and landscapes and trees and rocks and rivers and oceans. You are what you are. And now it's not with a conscious mind of thought and figuring things out. You are the intelligence of the universe, and the way we connect with that intelligence is resting as awareness. Resting as awareness. It's the quiet. In quiet, there's a workbook lesson in the course that I like to remember. In quiet, I received God's word today. Right? And what does that mean? What does that mean for you? In quiet, when we're quiet, in the pause, in presence, we receive the vibrational frequency. We receive the intelligence of consciousness. We receive the intelligence of awareness in quiet. And when we pause and when we rest in quiet, in this quiet presence, all things are resolved. All things, everything. Do you have situations with health, money, relationships, worry, fear? Are you afraid of awakening? Are you afraid of being a zombie, not being able to drive, think, talk, carry ideas? Are you afraid that awakening is going to take away your faculty of the personhood? That's awesome. Rest in awareness with that worry and that fear, and allow it to be resolved. Allow it to be enveloped with the intelligence that conceived you as a person. It will answer every problem that you think you have. Thank you for coming to the opening of day 3, beloved, and thank you for sharing yourself with us at Pure Presence Conferences, the Center for Awakening, and for your support of the things that we do for humanity and for consciousness. We love you. And I'll see you in a few minutes in Louise Kay's meditation. Don't miss it.